Can you see it now?
Yes.
Well, okay. Getting into the detail, I'm not okay. So, well, today the demo would be more or less. I'll try to give you an overview of what exactly this transportation management was, and from where it was started. And I've divided this demo into 4 different parts. Like one of your system landscape, another one about your embedded and decentralized. There are a lot of other options, and what are the core business functionalities that we will be looking into this particular transportation management case. All right. Now, okay, before I directly jump into this, can someone help me out? What is the advantage of having this particular transportation management as a module when we are implementing this one? Any idea?
Sai, this transportation is directly what's called, it's depends the profit, company's profit, because if we will save 1 rupees in a transportation, it means 1 rupees company will get 1 rupees as a profit. So it's like a company perspective, and another is like a environment perspective as well, because if we will manage the transportation of goods or movement of goods from one place to another place, and we consume the less efficiently utilize the transport like vehicles and shippers and other means of transport, it means we will contribute towards world to reduce the carbon emissions.
All right. So here, the other thing as well, as you said, I just want to add up other things. We would even need to understand and the logistics scenario, I mean like the logistic processes, what exactly was happening here. That's the other thing. So more or less what we are going to get benefit out of it here was, if you can see this, we will be able to identify your entire logistics processes. On top of it, we will be having an on-time deliveries to your customers, because in these days, ideally, everyone's expectation was to have an immediate delivery of your goods, right? When you are having this kind of logistics, like whenever whenever you order something in your Amazon, your Flipkart, or wherever you taste, what happens? You expect the goods to happen immediately, right? So more or less what happens is, it is a more transparency on your logistics processes and reduction of your transportation costs. And top of it, you will be having a better overview of how your transportation scenarios and how your transportation things. On top of it also, we will be having a better communication with your carriers and with your customers and your vendors. You getting my point? Hello? So the most important thing is about your costs, how effectively we can save with this transportation costs when you are shipping your products. Okay, am I making sense here, guys?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what is that?
Hello. I wanted to ask some questions. Just one question about it. So this TM, is it mostly concentrating on the logistic part, and like let's say SCM part, like supply chain kind of part, or is it mostly what is it, the monitoring part kind of?
It depends upon the processes what we are implementing it here. So monitoring in the sense, what exactly you will be monitoring? You will be monitoring your shipments, where exactly the tracking of your shipments. That is one thing. On top of it, how effectively you would like to manage it. Okay, that's another thing again. So here in this transportation management, more or less, we will be always talking about 2 different scenarios. One is about your shipper scenario, and the other one is about your LSP scenarios. You got it? Hello?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'll again come back to this particular point of question, maybe down the line, so that I can answer you much detail. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So here, this is why the reason we will have this transportation management in place. But however, this is not only the module which is helping out your customers for your transportation. Ideally, there are multiple modules, there are multiple third-party tools even which supports your transportation businesses. Okay, there are many third-party tools which are available in the present market. But why do we need to go for particular to an SAP TM? Because of its closely integrated Santosh, can you please make it full screen? 1 second, please. I'm sorry. How about now? I'm so sorry. Hello?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So it is the ideally the reason behind it because it is closely integrated with your most of your SAP systems. Okay, you will be having an end-to-end integration between your SAP system. So that is one of the reason why we will be choosing it. On top of it, now because of this S4 coming into the picture, we are now getting into a one single package where you will be having your transportation management and your extended warehouse management, your yard logistics, and as well as your ERP coming in one landscape. Okay, so it all depends upon the business to business what exactly we will be doing it. However, okay, now let me just go back to the overview of this one where exactly we'll be helping on. Now, when I'm talking about this particular transportation management, I'll just want to give you an overview of this particular architecture of the TM. Now, if we look into this now, in the present market, okay, we do have a multiple options of the transportation management. So one is about your decentralized landscape and the other one is about our embedded landscape. So what does this mean by the decentralized landscape? So decentralized landscape in the sense this was started way back in the 2006 or 2006 I believe, some 5.0 versions, but ideally slowly it started coming into the limelight from 8.0 and slowly by 9.1 to 9.6 basically. So that is where this decentralized which means you have your ERP in one system and your your TM and EWM in a different SEM boxes. Okay, so that is what we call it as a decentralized landscapes. And another thing also, when it is coming to your embedded landscapes from 1709, from 2017, we have this S4 coming into the pictures. Okay, am I clear, guys, or any questions here? I hope it's clear. Coming to the system. Sorry.
I had a question for you. You mean to say that there was LE as well as TM, right?
Oh, sure. Now LE has been completely replaced by your transportation management in your embedded systems, right?
Completely replaced, right?
Yes.
As of now, also LE is in place as well as TM is in place. Coming to S4, LE is in place, TM is in place.
Yes.
So why? My question is like, is there any differences between LE as well as TM?
Obviously, right. LE is something where we will be only tracking. We will not have an advanced functionalities like the same way. Like if we can say that LE is only limited to few of it. It's not completely what the functionalities what we see there. But in EWM, yes, we do have a lot of functions. I'm sorry.
Sorry to interrupt, but can you elaborate what was the differences between TM as well as LE? Coming to LE and the TM point perspective.
Okay, I'll be telling that then. Okay. Hello.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So this particular transportation management, whatever we are doing it, it is more or less we will be offering this in two different landscapes. Okay, one was your embedded and the other one was your in the decentralized one. Okay. Hello.
I'm here.
Okay. Now, when I'm talking about this particular transportation ones, basically, okay. Okay. Here,
Yes.
what are we trying to do is we do have a lot of things like in order to say that when I'm talking about your embedded landscapes, we do have a lot of significance. I mean, like the simplification has come into the pictures. What kind of a simplifications like your delivery integrations and then your master data integrations, all these things has been reduced in your S4 landscapes. Okay, but when it is coming to your still to your decentralized landscapes, we still be using the same kind of an core interfaces, and then we will be using your because we need to transfer your master data and we need to transfer your transactional data. when you're transferring this, we do not have an option of directly transferring this. We will be using a mechanism called as a core interface for your master data, and for your transactional data, we would be using something called as a PI or XI, which we transfer the data from one system to another system. But the same way, when we are talking.
Sorry to interrupt. So you mean to say that interfaces, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that was the interface which we would be requiring in case of a decentralized. But when I'm talking about an embedded landscapes, we would not be required any kind of an PI or an XI interface in order to have your deliveries getting flowed from one system to another system. Okay. Hello.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So how those gets integrated? Like, is it something like IDOCs, which a standard SAP provides, or
which one?
Just to pass the deliveries, as you said, right? There is no required going forward in the embedded S4 HANA. Now, whatever the master data which we required in TM, which needs to be moved from ERP, basically ECC to S4 or ECC to TM system. So how it will be there? So I know it's a PI, PO, whatever that new interfaces, but you are saying
that
it's
is
not
the one which, that's what, let me hold down here. So earlier we used to have this PI interface for that, but now this PI interface is no more required for us. It directly creates a freight units as soon as we have your sales or your outbound delivery getting created in the system. Okay.
Okay. No, that I understand, but how it will be, the communication, how it goes?
It's through the QRFCs basically now.
Sorry, which you said?
QRFC. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it something which is a new system, like new way of transferring data between both the system, right?
No, it's not. I mean, like in the S4, it was there earlier, even in our EWM systems also. But now that the same technologies were being even used even for the TM. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Earlier we used to have this PI, and then we used to monitor it whether the data was getting flowed correctly or not. Now that is no more required for us. Okay.
Okay.
Am I clear?
Sorry, you need to say that like earlier we used to create a customer and we are transferring the data to CRM as a BP partner.
No, that's a master data. Oh, 1 second, let me correct you. That's a master data what we are transferring. But here I'm talking about a transactional data. There are two things which we need to understand. One is the master data. The other one is about transactional data. Master data is always through the core interface. Means your customers or your vendors, whatever you transfer it from ERP to your transportation management system, we will call it as a business partners. But now in S4, it is all about one terminology, which we call it as only as a business partners. That's it. Okay.
No, that's sorry to interrupt. The thing is like earlier also the same concept. As a SD consultant, I can say like the concept that is changed. So I can take an example like SD as well as CRM. So from SD to CRM, we will be transferring as a business partner. So the data will be transferred and it will be created as a BP and vice versa. So now in
the same concept,
I don't know that. Sorry to interrupt. In the thing in S4 HANA, the thing is like directly we'll be creating a BP, and based on BP, the customer will get created. So if you want to convert it to customer, it can be vendor, or it can be XX. Okay, we will create based on the requirement, right? So that will, I know that, but how the data, master data and the transaction data is related from SD to TM, because I know that because it's a defaulted in S4 HANA. I had observed and I had worked on LE as well. I know that. My question is clear how it was related from SD to LE. Sorry, I mean to say that.
Well, can I stop now?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So as you said that we will be creating your customers, which is an SD master data that will be transferring to your CRM system, right? If you can clearly understand that in the S4 landscape, we will never transfer the data from one system to another system here. It is only one thing which we'll be creating in one landscape, which is only the business partners. Okay, that is what I'm trying to say. Reduction of your master data transfers. Earlier, we have to transfer this data from one system to another system, but in the S4, we will never do that. That's what I'm trying to say here. Okay.
For example, I do have a customer. I have a customer. Okay. In SD, there is a customer. Let's say like a Shiv Shankar is my customer. Okay. I will create him as a, first I have to create him as a customer, and I have to create him as a business partner and extend this to other roles as well, or how it will be.
No, I didn't get your point. What exactly you're trying to ask me here?
The thing is like, see, earlier it was like we'll be creating as a customer, and when there was an interface, I do recall from SD to TM, we have to transfer the data as a master data.
It's not only to SD to CRM, even to EWM or to any of the landscape. Whenever you have to transfer any of the master data, we have to use a methodology called as a core interface. Using that particular method, we will be transferring that, and there we'll be treating it as a business partners. Now, the same terminology has been moved to the S4 systems, where we are calling it simply as a business partners instead of creating it as a customers and vendors. So what was your question here again? I'm not clear again.
My question is like, yeah, let's take an example like I am a customer. Okay. Babu is a customer, XYZ company.
How is it?
First, we have to create it as a BP.
Okay.
Right? Then later on, we have to extend it as a customer. Am I right?
That's no more required in the S4 systems. Okay. We'll be directly creating it as a business partners here.
But without extending the roles, will it be creating automatically as a customer?
We'll be directly creating the roles of FLCU01 or FLCU00 or whatever the roles you want in the S4. We'll be creating that.
We have to, without extending the roles, we can't, right?
Well,
so my question is the same point. My question is, you are in the right point. So without extending the roles, okay, I can extend the roles to as a freight forwarder. Because we have to extend the data from SG to TM as a freight forwarder. Without that, we can't.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes.
So earlier it was that. So how can we extend that? My question was clear. Is it clear?
I was clear, but I will be answering your doubts in the end of the sessions because I'm trying to get it into one way of okay. Yeah, because this is completely, when we get into the sessions, we can get into this in detailed view, like how a master data is getting created. But here I'm trying to give you an overview. What is a transportation management and how does a transportation management is going to work in the embedded landscapes? Okay, that's what my intention is here.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Sorry to interrupt you. So here, like Abhimanyu here, I'm talking about as for HANA, everything is available in the one database. Previously, it was separate database for ERP and TM. So there is a master data transfer which we need from ERP to TM system, as well TM system to ERP system. Those for handling through the interfaces. But in S4 HANA, everything is available in the one system, and we will, whatever the order is created in the system, it will automatically create the freight unit based on the configurations. Am I right?
Yes, automatically it will get. That's what I'm trying to say in this picture. If you see this, earlier we do not have that functionalities, but now as soon as we create any of your documents, it will automatically create your freight units for it. Okay.
So earlier it was creating the transportation order request or delivery based order request, but instead of those two documents, it will
particular one. Hold on, because earlier we used to have an order based transportation request and a delivery based transportation request, but now that is no more required because the simplification of the S4 is coming into the picture here. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Not a problem.
Sorry,
Now,
so it will be like the solution will be like in the same landscape activation of TM, something like that, right?
yes.
We are going to have the same landscape for everything.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, like same landscape for everything in the sense, like what exactly you're referring to here?
It's like a finance system as well, I think.
No, I'm not clear here. Can you help me out?
Yeah, when landscape basically your clients content. So it will be like embedded. Right now you have SDMM, the same way it will be there. You need to go and activate the solution, something like that. Earlier you have to have a model.
That's what. Let me come to that point. Hold on, okay? Because in this particular S4, we do have two different licensing again. One is of a basic licensing, the other one is of an advanced licensing. Okay, so the basic licensing is more or less nothing but your LE functionalities. Like you'll be having all your manual activities, or you will. I'm sorry, if someone can go on mute, please, because it's like I'm getting a lot of background noise. Yes. So in this particular basic licensing, you will not have the functionalities of your automatic planning of your tender, like of your carriers and the cockpit usages. So these are all the things which we will be having. These things like in the basic functionalities, you don't have a lot of things where you don't have to integrate with your EWM system, or you can't integrate with your GTS systems, or you cannot have any of your planning. It is always a delivery based planning only. But when it is coming to an advanced licensing, yes, we can do this particular one at a sales order level planning, and then you will be integrating with your event management, and you'll be having your optimizer getting planned here and your GTS. So all these things will fall under your advanced planning. So it's not just a plug and play kind of a concept here, though if you are implementing an S4 to your client, still for your EWM or for your TM, we need to check whether we were using a basic licensing or whether we were using an advanced licensing here. Okay.
So Sai here, like SAP, they are providing two servers, like basic S4 HANA and it's advanced HANA server. In the as I said, in the basic, they are only one functionality which is based on the delivery based, not in the based as well. So do you mean like that? In the basic functionality only they will cover the delivery based?
Exactly. In the basic functionalities, we will be planning it at a delivery based only. We cannot plan it at a sales level. Okay. But in the advanced functionalities, we will be planning our transportation business from a sales order perspective as well. Okay.
Okay. Okay. In the do you mean like in the basic for S4 HANA, we will do the order based as well?
No. See, we cannot plan at an order based. We can only plan at a delivery based. Okay. But in the advanced, we can plan either at your order based or either you can plan at your delivery based. Got that?
Okay. Yes. And in the basic version, it can we do the same forwarding order concept for it? Means like I'm talking about the LSP scenario and shipping
we
line.
still have that. Yeah, we still have that. But the only concern is the automatic planning of your carriers or your cockpit or your optimization. All these functionalities will not work in your basic licensing. Okay.
Okay. So those are just like a very, very basics.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. That's a basic. So within this S4, we still have two different things, a basic one and as well as an advanced one. Depending upon the client business functionalities and depending upon the usage of the things, we need to suggest what would be the best thing. I mean, like based on the business scenarios, we need to make sure what is the best thing for them. Getting the point?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is the other thing which we'll call it as a transportation management with the advanced and as well as the basic ones, guys. Okay. Now, coming to this particular transportation management, I want to tell you another thing. Here, this transportation management is also closely integrated with other multiple modules, like with your sales, which is your OTC, and your procurement, and as well as your warehouse management and your EHS and your GTS and as well as your FI. So this particular transportation module will be closely integrated with all of these modules here. Am I clear? Hello? However, when I'm talking about the core functionalities of a particular transportation management here, basically, we will always have a four different, four pillars, I mean to say that we will be having it here. One is of my order management. The other one is about my planning and execution. And I mean, I can just give you an overview here, which I skipped it. Yeah, order management, transportation planning and the tendering, freight execution and the monitoring, and the settlements. These are the four different pillars which we always talk about, whether we will be implementing a shipper or an LSP. Now, coming back to the core business scenarios, what is a shipper scenario and what is an LSP scenario? Anyone, any idea on this?
Yeah, shipper scenario, it means they are producing the product. Okay, and they are managing, or maybe they are hiring the LSP to move the good product from one plant to another plant or plant to customer. Okay, and LSP means they are selling the transportation service to their customer to ship goods on behalf of shipper.
Okay, more or less it is the same what you said. So shippers are the ones who are the manufacturing industry, manufacturing plants basically. For example, your client, your client is already using an ECC modules or any of the S4 modules you see, and you are trying to implement the transportation management for them. Okay, for those kind of the things, we will call it as a shipper scenario, where they would like to have an overview of their transportation business. Okay. Now, coming to an LSP scenarios, they will be selling their freights. We can say that, for example, your DHL or your FedEx, whoever it is, they will be selling that on behalf of your shippers. However, those are the people will not be bothered about what kind of a manufacturing, or there's only one thing always is they will try to ship your goods from one place to another place. So those are the ones which we call it as an LSPs, mostly your FedEx or your DHL or your Canonical, most of the people guys. These are the guys which we call it as an LSP. Am I clear? First thing. Hello?
Okay. Yeah.
However, when I'm talking about this LSP and as well as the shipper scenarios, both the scenarios will be coming into this particular processes, like whether it could be an order management or whether it could be in transportation planning and tendering or a freight execution and monitoring or maybe a settlements. Only in case of your order management, your LSP will not come into the pictures, but most of the cases will be coming here. Okay. However, now let me just get into more detail. Okay, someone has asked me this question earlier. Now in the TM process, mostly we will have a sales order and then we'll have an OTR, which is nothing but your order-based transportation request. Then we will have a freight unit. But in case of an embedded landscapes, we will not have an OTR coming into the picture. The same way, when you're talking about a delivery-based one, you'll be having something called as a DTR, which is a delivery-based transportation request. So this kind of a duplication request is no more required in our S4 systems. Okay, it's directly the system will create you the freight units. Okay, clear?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that is one thing. Now, when I talk about something on this order management, what exactly this order management does with this? Basically, it's nothing but we will try to integrate most of your orders, such as your sales orders or maybe your purchase orders or your stock transport orders. All these orders, how you will be integrating with your S4 systems. That is what we call it as an order management, guys. Okay, and where we will try to make sure how the freight units will be getting created. That is where we will be mostly discussing on this order management here. Now, coming back to the transportation planning, what exactly we do here? Basically, we would need some kind of a planning when we are trying to ship the goods from one place to another place. Means, for example, what? If you want to transfer your goods from Germany to somewhere to USA, then how you will plan from your shipping point to a specific hub and from a hub you will move it to the destination hub, and from a destination hub you will move it to the customer's location. So all these three things, we will be having a three different legs here, which we call it as a pre-carriage, on carriage, and we'll call it as a main carriage. So how are we planning it? Means from your shipping point to an airport, we have to plan a vehicle, like it could be a 40-feet container or a 60-feet container or whatever it is, we need to plan that. So all these kind of a plannings, and someone has also asked me that we will be also having a track of it. Yes, at this level, we will be having a track of your particular vehicles, where exactly the truck is. Okay, whether it is in the transit to your hub, or it has reached your hub, or whatever it is, all these things where the events will be getting triggered for you, that is what your planning will be coming into the picture, which is the most important thing in your transportation management. Okay, and the next thing was your transportation execution, means how effectively you are handling this execution in your logistics side. Integration with your extended warehouse management, basically. How are we monitoring it? And how the capacity of your trucks, for example, if you're having your load visualization of your truck in your transportation, the same way we have to load your goods in your warehouse. So that is something we call it as a cartonization planning. That's a different concept all over there. So the same planning information will be sent to an EWM system, and there we will be uploading that. Okay, so that is something we will be executing this in the transportation execution for us. And then here we will also have a full visibility of your processes, means what kind of things, whether it could be an, whether you, whenever you ordered something in your NSO or something, you'll be getting an updates, right? It has reached to certain hub, or it has reached to certain place, and all these things, right? So these kind of things, whatever we are getting it, that is the one which we call it as a flight execution and monitoring here, more or less. Okay, and then we do have something called as the freight costs and the settlement. Means in this particular freight cost and the settlement, how are we settling it to your customers? Means on what basis you will be settling this to your customers. Okay, like whether it could be your once you made use of those services to your carrier, ideally you have to pay them, right? So these are the places where we'll be talking mostly on your charge management and your settlements, and all these things will be coming into the picture. So these are the most important things that we always discussed from our transportation perspective here. Okay, like for example, these are the most important things. You getting my point, is everyone? Hello? I'm sorry.
Yes, I
Okay.
got it.